Yo, what is up guys, it's YDPTV here, back with another video. So for today's video, I'll be ranking top 10 hoopers, basketball YouTubers in the YouTube community. The list was very tough to choose, because there are so many hoopers out there, but I would like to mention YouTubers like Kenny, 50K Mal, and Chris Staple. It was very tough to not put y'all on the list, but I will try to put y'all on the list next time. But for now, let's get started. At number 10 coming in, we got CASHNASTY. Cash has been playing a lot of competition and he is still undefeated from all the games he played after quarantine. Cash is a strong physical player who likes the contact. His favorite spot to shoot is from the top of the key. He said he's not a hooper yet, but in my eyes he's a hooper. For the grades I gave him were shooting C, cause it'd be lacking sometimes. Rebounding is a pretty decent rebounder, so B. Handle, he posted a video where he worked on his handles for 30 days, which improved a lot, so it's a B. Finishing, he missed a couple of layups sometimes, but other than that, he's pretty decent at that. Defense, he got Hall of Fame clamps. Next up on the list at number 9, we got RiceGum. RiceGum has beat people like CASHNASTY and Brawadis, but he hasn't played that many IRL games. But I think he's still a hooper just because he has beat people like Brawadis and CASHNASTY. RiceGum is a knockdown shooter and likes to post people up if they are smaller than them. Example, Brawadis. For the shooting, I give him A. He's a knockdown shooter. Rebounding, pretty good for his size, B-. He got handles, but they are not shifty as I want him to be, but it's B. Finishing, if he gets in the post, he likes to finish. He's pretty good at finishing, so B. His defense is, his size, he's not big enough to guard people like CASHNASTY, so I'll give him C. Next up at number 8, we got Trey Good. Trey hasn't posted in IRL games in years, but if you put that aside, you can't deny his shooting ability and his athleticism. He's an all-around good player in the YouTube community. For the shooting, I gave him an A, rebounding A, handles A-, finishing A, defense A. He is an all-around player, so I'll give him A for most of them. Next up at number 7, we got Jesser. Jesser is a spot-up shooter who drives in when he wants to using his body. He's not consistent at shooting at times, but when he catches fire, it's hard to stop him. On the defensive side, he's really good at using his size to defend people bigger than him. For shooting, I gave him an A, lethal shooter. Rebounding, he's not athletic enough and tall enough to get rebounds, but I still give him B. Handles, it's not the tightest handles he got, but so I give him B-. Finishing is pretty decent, B, and defense I give him B for his size. At number 6 coming in, we got Tanner Morgan. Tanner Morgan is a college player who played at University of Northern Colorado. Tanner is a tall player who has decent handles for his size, and he can shoot contested shots. For shootings, I gave him B+. He lacked shootings at points, but pretty good shooter at point sometimes. For rebounding, I gave him A. He's pretty tall. Handles, he has decent handles, as I said earlier, for his size, so I gave him C. Finishing, he's tall enough to finish, so I gave him B-. For defense, B+. Pretty tall enough to block shots. At number 5, we got coming in Solluminatti. Solluminatti played college ball at Odessa University. Although he only played 1 year, he was pretty decent. He's a player who likes contested layups, and he makes them most of the times, and a contested 3-point shooter. For the shooting, I gave him B+, rebounding A, handles B+, finishing A+, and defense A. At number 4, we got Duke Dennis. Duke Dennis, he's a player who has very good defense and has really good offense. Very patient player, but shooting can be lacking at times. Duke is about 6'2", and he takes advantage of his size. He's very good at shooting over his opponent contest and finishing in contact at the rim. For shooting, I gave him B-. Rebounding is pretty good rebounder, A. Handles not the best, B. Finishing, he can dunk, so A. Defense, he got length, so I give him A-. At number 3, we got coming in Marcellus. Marcellus is a very fun player to watch because of his flashing handles and athleticism, and combined with excellent shooting gives him ability to shoot from anywhere on the floor. Marcellus is a former D2 athlete, and you can tell that by the way he plays. So for the shooting, I gave him A. He's a great shooter from the 3-point line and the mid-range. Rebounding is little small, so I'll give him B. Handles, pretty flashy handles, so I'll give him A. Finishing, he has like the slasher mentality, so I'll give him A+. Defense, I give him A. Or excuse me, B+. Next up, at number 2, we got LSK. LSK is known for his shooting. He loves to shoot from behind the arc and mid-range area. And because he's 6'10", he's able to shoot right over his opponent. Chris is also known for his dunking abilities. And being 6'10" makes it a lot easier for him to dunk. For his shooting, I give him A. He likes to shoot very well. Rebounding A+, pretty tall. Handles, can't improve on the handles, so I give him C. Finishing, he can dunk, so I give him A. And defense, he has them long hands and he's pretty tall, so I give him A. At number 1, we got DC Heat. DC Heat is known for his shooting. He loves to take a shot from the post, but he does lack on the defensive side of the ball at times, where he struggles to stay in front of the man he is guarding. But overall, very good player. Him and LSK have pretty similar style, But by comparing the games, I think DC Heat deserves the #1 spot on the list. For the shooting, I gave him A. Rebounding, A-. Handles, you need to work on handles, B. Finishing, you can dunk, A. And defense, he lacks on, as I said earlier. Alright guys, that'll do it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment if you think the list was accurate or not. And this is a series, so next up is gonna be the Hoopers. But till then, we out. Gang!